Hi everyone, it's Megan Blinka, 4-star Diamond Beachbody Coach. Wanted to take a few minutes to talk about something that you've all heard before. You've probably heard it more times than not, and it's consistency. Consistency in sharing, consistency in your invites, consistency in your posts, and consistency in the self-evaluation as to where you are and where you want to be. So, starting with consistency and sharing, you have to share your journey. You have to share you and what you're doing because that's how people relate to you. If you are only sharing, that you have this challenge group coming up and this coach opportunity, like that's half of it. But you have to share that emotional side of it and what it's done for you and how it's allowed you to do X, Y, and Z in your life and how it's impacted you. And that emotional connection is going to be what gets people going and gets people excited and they want to join you. So as you start to share and you're sharing publicly on your wall or you're sharing through Facebook messages, think about things that, would draw somebody into this opportunity. Think about, sharing little pieces, we call it breadcrumbing. So you may, share little pieces about, if you're focused on challengers, you might share little pieces about your challenge group, what your challengers are doing, what it's doing for you. I posted today about how, even though I had a rough night of sleep with my kids, knowing my challengers were getting up this morning and pressing play made me want to do it that much more. So, adding in little, breadcrumbs about the challengers before you then invite to a challenge group and sharing how valuable the challenge groups are for you and how they are valuable for other people is going to get someone else more interested. And when you invite them or when you post a big general post about your challenge group, they're already going to have seen these things that it's done for you or done for other people and want to join you. So whether it's, sharing for the challenge groups or similarly with coaching, if you're going up or coming up on a new Coach Basics group or Coach Sneak Peek, spend that week before sharing about what coaching has done for you. And don't think about it as you've already said this before, because as we're, I know we're all adding friends on Facebook every day. There's new people following you. And that post you did, 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago or 3 months ago, things may be different now. And you might be able to, maybe you posted that at a time that many people weren't online. If you can repost things, tweak it, make it a little different, update it, add a different image. But the context, sometimes I feel like I'm repeating myself and saying things over and over again, but different people see them each time because people are on Facebook at different times of the day. So share your journey, share you, share every aspect that you can think of, but don't stop sharing and do it daily. Find a way to tweak your posts to where you can, share something else within that post, rather than it's just if you're going to post a quote, for example, don't just post that quote and repeat what the quote says in the text. Add value to that and give that, use that as an opportunity to share how that quote impacted you. And, there was a reason you picked that quote to share. But add value to it so that you can, share the opportunity about coaching or a challenge group. The other item I want to talk about in regards to consistency is inviting. And yes, you've heard me talk about consistency and inviting more times than not, but as you're adding more people and you're talking to more people through your invites, your Facebook posts and your the stuff you're doing on social media is going to start showing up more in their feed. So if you're not inviting and you're not sending those messages to people, someone who very well could be very interested in what you're doing, they're not going to see your stuff because you're not talking to them. So the way Facebook is designed, it's going to show people, the more interaction you have with someone, the more your stuff is going to show up in their feed. So using the invites, and invites don't always have to be, hey, come join my challenge group. They can start with how the first day of school go. How was preschool? How was drop off? How was your first day at home without the kids? How's work? Like, talk to people and take interest in them. But the more you create that relationship, the more your stuff's going to show up in their feed. And then you'll get to a point where you can either invite them to join you or join the group or join the sneak peek, or they may come to you because now they're seeing your stuff every day. And if you've been consistent with your sharing, they're seeing all the stuff over and over again. And eventually they'll get to the point where they want to join you. So, it's a vital behavior for a reason. Everyone talks about it for a reason. It's because it is, key in the consistency of your business to grow. You have to invite and you have to, Doesn't have to always be cold call invites, but you have to talk to people and, engage with them to where you can then present the opportunity. The other thing I mentioned, posting, consistency with your posts. You can have really great posts, but if don't do it for, you post on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you're gone Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday on a long weekend, all that stuff you build up through earlier in the week, your stuff kind of dies down in the week and no one's going to see your stuff. So when you go to post again Monday morning, less people will see it because you haven't engaged with anyone. I'm not saying you should spend all weekend inviting and liking people's stuff on Facebook so it shows up, but just don't stop. Be consistent. You might not be posting as much, but even on the weekends and in the evenings, find the times of day that work for you. If you're working, you might not be able to get online and do a post in the middle of the day or between the working hours, but prep something the night before. Like I have on my phone, I can mark things as favorites. So like one of the things I often do is I create a bunch of images to use if they're quotes or if they're pictures or recipes or whatever I have. And, at a time when I may not be doing something, that day to share, I have something I can fall back on. So maybe it was a Shakeology recipe or a dinner recipe or something from Fix 8 or really cute picture of my kids, whatever it is, I kind of keep a little library of those saved so that whenever I need them, they're ready. And you don't have to do it all the morning of. I had a blog post. I use that too. Like I'll prep some blog posts in advance and then post them when I need them. Like recipes are good ones. They don't have to be like in the moment. So I'll have some ready that if it's been 4 or 5 days since I've posted something on my blog, I can go back and use one of the recipes that I've already typed up and I already have my images on, just so that I can keep that consistent. Whether you're talking about your Instagram or your blog or your Facebook page, you want to be consistent with your posts so that people who are watching you, when they come back to your page or your blog or your Instagram account, they see what else has happened and it makes them want to come back again the next time. And with the posting, something to consider is you can theme things out. Sometimes it's easier. I know in my challenge groups I'll often do like Monday motivation, Transformation Tuesday or Tuesday tips and share different tips on Tuesdays. What I ate Wednesday, you know, there's always a throwback Thursday or thankful Thursday, flashback Friday, flex Friday, those types of things. You can theme those to your Facebook account too. And, not only through your challenge groups, but use those same themes all week long. So if you have something to base your posts off of, so you're not always trying to, it's not always a here's my sweaty selfie or here, like it varies. It gives you a way to keep variety throughout the week so that you're not posting the same thing, but they're consistent throughout the week. So every Thursday, if you do Thankful Thursday, people who want to see that are going to come back to look for more. So if you have some, and I can, I have a little image that I have on my phone that I can share with everyone in the group, but it's just a really great way to kind of take the thought process out of it. Like, it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to get like super creative every day. Find something that you like to share and do that and do it consistently. And then the last thing I want to talk about is self-evaluation. And I think this one's a little bit different because, we're always an ongoing, progressing on our journey, whether it's our fitness journey, our business journeys. There's always change, but sometimes you have to stop and think about what you're doing and where you're going and if you're on the right track. And I want to share a few of these things that I came across because for me, they really hit home and I thought it was beneficial. And when I saw it, I was like, this is perfect to share with people. But so when you're thinking to yourself, why do I feel so blah? Ask yourself, are you doing your PD daily? Personal development is a great way to brighten your mood, think positive, and remember why you started this all in the first place. So when you're feeling a little bit down, things aren't going your way, just forget all those thoughts and go do some PD. It'll go a long way. Another one is, why haven't I hit SC yet? So today is the 10th of the month. If you're sitting there and you haven't hit SC yet, and that's a goal of yours, ask yourself, how many conversations have I started this month? Goes along with our inviting. Maybe you need to step it up. Maybe you need to talk to more people. If the people you're talking to aren't biting or aren't committing, don't wait around for those. Go find new people and start more conversations with them. If you're thinking to yourself, why is she so much further along in this business than I am? Ask yourself, or tell yourself you're on your own journey, but what can you learn from her and use that to fuel you forward? If you're thinking, I'm messaging like crazy, but why isn't anybody committing? Think to yourself, is there a better way I could be saying things? And if you're not sure, if you keep getting to a point in your conversations where like, yeah, this person's gonna go for it, and then you don't hear anything back, share your conversations with your upline coach. Talk those out. Maybe there's something in there that you don't think is a big deal, but someone else is gonna see it and be like, yes, like how about you tweak this and see how that works? Or maybe you're talking too much too early. Let your prospects kind of share with you a little bit more. If you're thinking to yourself, my posts are getting crickets, ask yourself, am I being consistent on social media? And that just goes back to what we talked about before. If you aren't posting, people aren't going to see your stuff. So, of course, it's not going to get the activity. If you're thinking to yourself, which is perfect for this group, why haven't I rank advanced? Think to yourself or tell yourself, how many people have I presented this business to? People won't always just come to you and say, hey, I want to do exactly what you're doing and I want to run this business too. Because they don't know what it is and they don't know the benefits of it unless you share it and unless you talk to them about it. So, in our theme for Fearless Friday, I encourage you all to create those conversations with people about coaching. Just ask them. Think about if somebody didn't ask you. If your coach never presented the coaching opportunity to you, where would you be? And would you be happy with where you were? Or do you think that it's a little bit better now that you've had this opportunity in your life? So think that to yourself. And when you're, getting a little afraid to reach out to somebody or talk to them about the coaching opportunity, just think to yourself, what if nobody told me about this? Or what if I didn't know that this was a possibility? And then close your eyes and hit send. So I hope that all helps. A little Fearless Friday. I'm excited to hear how these conversations go and how everyone does going forward. So thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.